Hey everyone, in this video I'll be showing you the new fastest XP farm in Palworld's 1.0 update to take your pals from level 1 to level 80 as fast as possible, and there's a new breakthrough here. However, I will be showing some early game methods as well as the late game ones which will get you your pals all the way up to max level as soon as possible. And what's crazy about this is a huge breakthrough was found out today by Reddit user HiggsBosonHL that Omascul's 4-star rarity pal skill will actually stack with a 3-star variant. So one of them is going to increase your XP gain by 80%, one's going to increase it by 64%, and this is actually pretty interesting because this will also stack with other things like the seafood salad here, as well as the growth acceleration bells. So in minutes, you can get your pals from level 1 to level 78. And if you're to do the fight a second time, you get them to level 79 and just a little bit of XP away from level 80. However, there are other ways like using things like the training crystals here. And the thing is, there's actually a pretty crazy setup here for Omascul to be able to take down the end boss of this game as fast as possible because it has some pretty useful moves here. I have covered this previously, but you want to roll with a setup of Apocalypse, Circle Vine, and Sand Twister on Omascul. Now you can find an Omascul anywhere on the Faybreak Isles, however that is a kind of a late game section, but you can make your way over here, grab one of the best pal spheres in the game, and then run back to this section and be able to catch it earlier. And there's always going to be a level 60 variant of it right here, so as soon as you can get this pal, I'd highly recommend it. And I would also recommend grabbing the growth acceleration bell, which is going to be at this location here on the map. So we're looking at minus 249 and we're looking at 1 there. So roughly in this spot right here. Go and grab that as soon as possible. It's going to give you the PAL XP up level 3, which is actually going to be a 50% increase the overall experience that your pals do gain. And another really useful item to have is seafood salad here, which can be made using a gloopy tentacle and lettuce. Lettuce can be grown at your base, and you can find gloopy on the beaches of Faybreak Isle, so roughly around over here, here, and there. And they also will appear over on the island just right here, Decayed Treasures. Now the last phase of this is going to have an Omascul here. I'd recommend having it awakened. I would recommend maxing it out in every possible way that you can. Get its trust all the way up, boost its stats however possible with the stat fruits and things like that. And we're going to need Apocalypse, Circle Vine, and Sand Twister. This destroys any large bosses because it hits in a huge area of effect, and the boss we're going against is going to be quite large. Although there are some earlier game options you can go with, this is a very solid option for attacks because it just counters everything. You do want to have the following skills: Muscle Head, Serenity, so we get these skills back quicker, God of Destruction for the increased attack and defense, does reduce your max health, and the Twin-Edged Holy Blade will make it so these attacks nuke. However, I like to have my backup Omascul here instead with the Immortality. So none of the negative features, so we have Muscle Head, Demon God, Serenity. Immortality will give it lifesteal so that it can sustain itself, as you don't want to run out of these. But you can see the attack difference here, so this one's got 6,300 there, whereas our other pal only has around 4,000. Now, early game farming, the trick is actually to have your pals craft a bunch of stuff because this gives XP, and we're going to actually save the pal catching bonus a little bit later. And actually, Palworld's 1.0 update added a nice quality of life. When you aim down, you can see how many of the 5 you capture there. So for example, we got 5 of 5, so you can make this easier to hunt them down. Palworld's 1.0 update also made it so that when you breed pals, you can then get a catching bonus from that. So I would highly recommend going through and trying to catch 5 of every single pal that you can find, and then once that's done, breed a bunch of them as well. After that, I would recommend just fighting bosses as well as doing the tower, whatever one that you can clear on hard mode. It's going to give you some nice items for later. And I'd recommend saving all these training crystals to the late game because you can then use them to take them the further couple levels instead of having to fight the boss again, because we can get level 70 in just 2 minutes. And once you get to the late game, this is where it all comes together. You can go and fight some of the other bosses in this area here, like Dandalord for example, but obviously the best choice is going against Zanara here. So we take our level 1 dupants here and Omascul to the fight, and I'll show you guys live here how this works. So Omascul just opened up with Apocalypse there, which you can see is absolutely melting Zanara's health. This is on normal world settings. Sand Twister there doing a ton of damage. I like to take it back whenever it does this because it'll sometimes get hit and then recall it back out whenever we get to this next phase here. It will pop off with its attacks again. Any of the big large beam attacks, I just recommend recalling Omascul here. It's when it pauses here that these tornadoes can just do so much damage to Zanara and Astralim here. So yeah, you can see we're absolutely melting it, and all it takes is just another one of these. There are caps where the boss does not take any damage here, and now it's about to do its big nuke attack, so we can just unload on it, and it literally does that quickly how fast you can clear the boss with using Omascul with that setup on normal world settings. Just skip through that and you can see there above, our Dupins are now level 78. So they went from level 1 to 78 in literally 1 minute here. And this is crazy because you can just rinse, wash, repeat, go back to your base, return these to their wherever you want it, bring in some new pals. And I'd recommend just bringing training crystals to make this a little bit easier, but you're gonna see here, I can run this again. Pulling our cool guy here. I love his attack animations too, by the way. Omascul is a G. And you're going to see that we can just go in and fight this again. It's absolutely shredding it there. These tornadoes with the multi-hit also work against large bosses like Panthalus. And it's literally just rinse, wash, repeat, have that apocalypse popping off. And yeah, it'll just make this fight a whole lot easier. My shield is getting destroyed there, but that's not to worry because yeah, it's that quick. And boom, they are now level 79. And very close to level 80 here. So all it takes is just running back to your base, let your camp do its thing, and they'll be maxed out. We have more of an updated video here just because of this cool new thing that got figured out here by HiggsBosonHL on Reddit. I'd recommend checking out this thread for some more information on that. But this is huge. I'm going to be testing out a bunch of other partner skills here to see if there's any that actually will double up when you have different tiers of them. So again, you have to have the level 4 and level 5 version of that. I'd also recommend having the Lord of the Emperor, Underworld, and Earth Emperor's Batons here. These all boost your attack power up of your pal by 20%, and then another boost to the damage type that they'll be dealing, which is huge because these are the 3 damage types that we're going to throw onto it. Seafood Salad, Training Crystals to top them off, and you'll be able to max out your team very quickly in Palworld's 1.0 update. And again, go through and catch 5 of everything in the early game. Repeat tower bosses on hard, as well as do any of the relevant challenges to your level, and you'll be able to max out your pals quickly. But if you have any questions, hit them in the comments below. Hope you guys have a great day. Hit the subscribe button if this is useful, and we'll catch you in the next one.